Hey everyone, this little hamster blaster was solvent welded all around, but I finally cracked it open. Let me show you how I did it. I'm your host Dave, welcome to Tag. First thing I want to say, if you ever attempt to open this thing, you will need glue to reclose it. This little hamster blaster is solvent welded, meaning we are going to break that weld to go into the blaster, but we're going to need glue to reclose the thing. That said, let's go on with the opening. I am currently in chat with a certain someone from YouTube because he asked me a question about this blaster. I answer him, and now I tried to open it and it kinda worked. And since I wanted to show you how to open this thing and I got only one of those little hamster blaster, here's my little trick to open this blaster. I wasn't sure it was gonna work, but it worked like a charm. First, a dull X-Acto blade or butter knife might do the trick if it's thin enough. You're gonna go to this corner right here. Mine's a little wider. I already inserted a blade in and it worked. You're basically gonna slowly insert the dull X-Acto blade in the corner, but don't go too far because there is a ridge at the bottom of this little crack. You can see it through. With a clear one it's easier to see. If you get a colored one, you're gonna have to go by feeling, but you wiggle a little bit and you're gonna hear it crack. And it's not the plastic, it's really that weld. And now I can split it open just a tiny bit to help me with the rest of the opening. For the rest, the butter knife might be a good solution because they are normally pretty smooth to go all around the crack. I prefer to go with what we use to open cell phone. I like those screwdriver set from AliExpress or Wish, Temu, place like that. You got a lot of little bits to go with your screwdriver, and you got those little triangle looking like guitar picks and little pry bar, plastic pry bar to help you with opening those welded case. For this, I'm gonna go with a very thin, like a guitar pick opening thing, and I'm gonna insert it in my already done crack. And you see here, it's fitting in the corner and it's holding. And the best way is to sit it the flattest as possible and to go all the way. And I see that, yeah, it's opening. It is really splitting open. My only concerns are here. I will have to open the bottom of this before I continue. Let's remove that plunger. I will suggest you hold your blaster a little while splitting the shell just to make sure nothing fall on the ground. Oh, this is a tough one. It doesn't want to go. Oh yeah. I think there was a pin here. Yeah, I think this side is done. Let me go all the way for the rest. Oh, I hear the crack, meaning it's continuing to open. Yeah. In the end, it was not really that hard. You take something plastic made for opening case. With a little persuasion, it is gonna let go. The hardest part is this corner here because it's hidden under the trigger. But I am telling you, the weld on this thing is not maximal. I mean, most of the weld cracked by itself without any effort. The hardest part was really this thing. Now, I can take a look and fix that upper seal, plus maybe change that barrel for a better, longer one. Let's remove what's in our way. That little anchor pin For the trigger, spring is very good. Trigger too, this is a good plastic. Honestly, I'm happy. Oh, and this move right away. This is our gate. Yeah. You see, nothing is holding. That O-ring is not even touching. So yeah, this is completely inefficient. That was my main seal issue, FPS issue. We're gonna update that O-ring with a thick one like I did for the plunger. This might solve the trick. Now, for this barrel, because it's one either too cheap or not good enough, but I want something better. Right away I see two problems. One, this is not 16mm. If I check even if the Zenwiki barrel are a little fatter, this is more like a 15.8mm. This is not 16mm, meaning we're gonna need to adapt this part for the right barrel. Or if the hole is made for 16, that's why we have a leak. My other problem, this barrel is glued there, and I don't want to mess this part up. Let's go, maybe just brute force is gonna do it. Let's try it. Well, but also, I'm afraid this shell might not take the 16mm barrel. Let me go with this one here. No, the shell will need sanding too. Let me try with another barrel. I might have that unicorn barrel somewhere. Exactly as I thought. That unicorn barrel with the recessed portion might be just what I need to go inside of my shell and inside this dart gate. Well, how long do I put of a barrel? Because I could just cut at the right position, insert it in, and it will be almost like it's made for it with the machine section. That will be very helpful. So yeah, this is gonna be my winner for this mod. Oh yeah, so brute force is gonna do it. Yeah. This thing was barely glue into that thing. I mean, there is not that much traces of glue inside. I will just need to cut my barrel the right length, the length that I want. All the marking is already done to how many much more barrel I need total. Yeah, I just cut the unicorn barrel in half, and this is basically a perfect fit for it. I mean, I will only need glue to reseal it, but yeah, I now have a red barrel for my little hamster. So if you got those unicorn barrel lying around, they are lifesavers. Let me clean that thing up, reinsert the barrel with glue, let it dry. I will reassemble the whole blaster with a brand new O-ring on this part, and this thing should be close to perfect. Barrel is glued in and held in place quite firmly. It's going to be time to reassemble, but one thing I forgot to mention is the little ridge here that was holding the barrel inside. You're going to need to shave it down, otherwise you won't be able to pass your barrel through. Be careful, don't go too harshly with something like a cutter knife. This is polycarbonate, it's going to crack. Better go with a tapered file or something rotary to go very slowly, remove that thing. Quite well seated in. Only thing left would be to put that little pin back in place, put that trigger, and reclose that shell using glue, because we're going to install that plunger at the end. I already put some lube inside of there. I'm going to add some more on my O-ring before I put it in. I think I can reclose that thing now. Let's put some glue, reclose that thing, let that dry, and try that blaster. Glue seems dry. I didn't put quite enough on this little handguard, but for the rest I think it's gonna be okay. Let me put back that plunger, but first let me put a drop of lube on it. and my glue kinda let go on me on this part. I didn't quite put enough on it. Let me put some piece of tape for the test, and I'm gonna reglue it a little bit later. Not very elegant, but for now it's gonna do the trick. What side do they go in? This way. Not perfect on the seal. But still, I got minimal seal on this thing. Can it vacuum feed now? Oh yeah. It is all the way to the bottom. We try it. Gonna know if there is any kind of improvement. 115. Still, it's not what they are advertising it for, but it's closer. 115. I put a longer barrel on it, and I tried to fix the upper seal. Since my glue is not completely done, I will be able to reopen it. But yeah, I am on the right track for this blaster. Let me try a couple different darts inside this thing. Can it take... Oh, this is going to be tight. Yeah, it vacuum feed all the way to the back. 124. That is better. 128. I think this thing is just getting breaking in. Worker. 96. Okay. But this worker is, man, this is tight. 87. Let me go with slightly, yeah. Slightly smaller, slicker dart. 114 on ghost. This is still good. 106, a little lower. Let me try a couple more X-shot dart in this thing, just to see. 136. 114. 120. Okay, so we had a maximum shot of 136, a minimal shot of 87, but with worker they were very tight into this barrel. For the rest, the performance are getting there. I mean, I was able to achieve the 120 FPS and more with an extended barrel and some seal. I might have to tweak it a bit, but it's getting there. This blaster is even more worth it. In the end, this little hamster blaster was more of a bargain than I thought. If I'm able to open it, to tune it, elongate the barrel, and I can even exceed the performance they announced, because I've reached 130 FPS and above with this thing, with this longer barrel. But yes, this thing got good potential, but the only way to achieve it is to crack it open, unfortunately, and then re-glue it together. But for now, that's it for this small video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at ThatOldNerfGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell so notified for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.